Hi, so today I'm going to be doing a very requested second, a very requested second video to a video I did a little while ago titled F1 Conspiracies. So this video is definitely not very conspiracy theory based, but it's still, so this is very based on one particular thing in Formula 1, team orders, even though I do have one thing, like one conspiracy or something that happened that is kind of crazy. But then I'm going to dive straight in to team orders since it's kind of let me just check out my lips for a second. Let me just check out my lips for a second. I'm going to start on my lips and then we'll start this video. This is really fun. See ya! It's my lovely auntie. Love you, love. I'm joking, I love my auntie. Love this lipstick as well. Twilight. Love this lipstick as well. Twilight Nude. MUA. Yeah, MUA. So let's begin. So if nobody knows what Formula 1 is, it's just a sport that pretty much runs like pretty much has a race, 21 races a year, and is pretty much the leading motorsport championship. It is a championship, and another if you couldn't tell by the videos I played suddenly. So this is obviously a second part of the video. So I'm going to start off with Testgate. So a lot of these are kind of like to go back a little while, but I have managed to do the team orders to manage to do some that happened actually this season, just to make it a bit more current, so you guys can have a bit more information, even though everything is from like the last 10 years. No, more than 10 years, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so one's from 16 years ago, but that is I feel like very current to it. Okay, let's just start. Okay, so we're gonna start with Testgate. So this is a Mercedes. This is what happened with Mercedes. So they do a lot of testing for Pirelli, which is the tires that they use. They use it from Goodyear's before they use Michelin, and that's actually a conspiracy its own that I want to cover. But so Mercedes, so it was after the Spanish Grand Prix, which I think is in Barcelona. I think it's been got Barcelona since the beginning, whenever that was. I literally have a fact about the conspiracies. Sorry. So so this is 2013. So I believe it is. I believe it was. Yeah. So it was Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg. Obviously, Lewis Hamilton started out Mercedes, and Nico Rosberg retired after his 2016 World Championship. I definitely want. Okay, I'll just talk about after. I'm gonna get on with this. Okay, so Mercedes conducted a private 3-day test for Pirelli, and they did not let any of the other teams know. Not even not even Formula 1, the company. No, not the FIA, which is the ruling body for Formula 1. No, nobody knew apart from Mercedes that we were conducting this test, and it broke the rule. But they did not get but they didn't get fined. It was kind of like a slap on the wrist. Don't do that again, and they think they're excluded from the next test, which is not that big because they have stuff like simulators. So not that big. So now we're going to go to team orders. So the term team order, if nobody really knows, is where a driver standardly a number. Okay, so I'm going to quickly explain something. So standardly in a higher up team, more often, so Mercedes, let's take Mercedes, they have a number 1 driver and a number 2 driver. This is a bit more harder to decipher in lower down teams that finish pretty much it's not, they don't have a particular way of finishing, like Williams. They finished 19th, 20th, 18th. They don't really, even though because the length is definitely better, it's not easy to decipher that from the statistics. but it is very easy to decipher that Lewis Hamilton is better than Valtteri Bottas, therefore making Lewis Hamilton the number one driver. So obviously the number one driver is more likely, it's actually a high team like Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull, to win the World Championship. So standardly, if the number two driver was leading the race, then the number two driver, the number two driver will be told, can you please let blah out? Can you please let blah in front of you? Not in such words. They might say you're in different strategies, or they might talk to it before. It says what we talked about before. Can you please do that? Even though sometimes it has been very clear that team orders have been used. Team orders were illegal for a while, and then they had like special words and codes for it, just like when team radio was banned and they had different words for that. So team order is literally a team telling the driver to allow another driver in front of them. Sometimes this is fully for, like, Force India did this at Russia, and it was literally to try and overtake the next car, and they swapped the drivers back afterwards, which is another way of it being shown, not just habits being not just the top driver. So I'm going to start off with Austria 2002. So it was the 6th race of the season, so it's not that much important. I think with 21 races, it's still all to play for at that time. Like, it's not going to change the championship who wins. Theoretically, it really can't change the championship who wins the 6th race. So this was Michael Schumacher and Rubens Barrichello. So if nobody knows who Michael Schumacher is, he is currently the best driver of all time. He has 7 World Championships. Pretty much has a lot of the pretty much like considered the best driver of all time. Even Lewis Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel are pretty much overtaking that. He's pretty much the best driver of all time, and he has everything to prove it. So, and Rubens Barrichello, so Rubens, whatever his name is, Rubens Barrichello was his teammate at the time. And Rubens Barrichello is also renowned as like quite a good driver as well. So Rubens Barrichello led the race comfortably, but Ferrari decided to order Barrichello to let Schumacher through to him. So Schumacher has won, and this is what is most like kind of it's really awkward if you just honestly Google podium ceremony Austria 2002 and try and watch it without cringing. Okay, so Schumacher allowed Barrichello to take his top step on the podium before the national anthem started playing. So the German national anthem started playing, but Barrichello is Brazilian. So obviously you can already see how awkward / confusing it might be to somebody who just tuned in and be like, what is going on? Like, oh, this is a bit strange. You can I would be quite confused and kind of awkward. And then he allowed us to give him a trophy. This actually led Ferrari to be fined £1 million for disrupting the natural routine of the podium and handing out of trophy, because obviously it's quite an official thing they have to do. It's always a bug I'm just squeezing. I don't want to kill it. It just okay. I haven't killed it. It's not moving. It's not moving. So that's quite like a nice way to kill a bug. Honestly, just like squeeze it till it starts moving and then remove it, and it will actually still move it. Just like paralyze it for a couple seconds, and that bug might anyway. Okay, so now we're going to talk about one of the most famous things ever. And even the Queen asked Christian Horner what this was. Christian Horner has come up and said, yeah, the Queen's asked me about this. So it is obviously a very, very big thing. So Multi 21. So if you've ever heard of Formula 1, or chat to somebody, you may have heard of Multi 21. So what is it? So back in 2013, I think was the time when team orders were banned, and to get around this, a lot of teams use special language to like allow team orders. So Sebastian Vettel, Red Bull had a multi 21. At the time, they had Mark Webber, who was makes it smile just because I was saying the accents, like the frustrated accents, and was Sebastian Vettel, who I also love. I just love it. So they had a lot of falling out because Mark Webber was was a lot older than Sebastian, and Sebastian was kind of given the treatment because he was a new top best driver, and they kind of like slid Mark out the way, and it wasn't kind of fair how they treated Mark. I believe anyway. Poor Mark, crying. Okay, so Mark Webber, Sebastian Vettel won Malaysia 2013, and Sebastian Vettel won Malaysia 2013, and Sebastian Vettel won Malaysia 2013, and Mark Webber came second. And after the race in the debriefing room, Mark Webber said to Sebastian Vettel, multi 21 Seb, multi 21, which refers to the team order multi 21, which obviously meant that car number 2, Mark Webber, should overtake car number 1, Sebastian Vettel. Okay, so we're going to talk about two very, very similar incidents, both by Ferrari, which are pretty much known for team orders. As obviously the first team order incident, Austria 2002, was also Ferrari. I don't know if I mentioned that, but this is quite famous. Like, this is mentioned a lot, and I honestly, it is saucy. So, okay, so I'm going to talk about a guy called Smoldy, who is the race engineer, who pretty much is a guide to deliver the news. Sometimes the team principal may do it, but majority it is the race engineer who says, you need to let blah 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 blah, or we are going to allow, or are we going to get you to win, something like that. So let's begin. My voice didn't hurt him. Okay, so let's do Germany 2010, and coincidentally, the incident after the team order is after Germany 2018. It's also Germany, so I'm going to talk about 2 incidents, and then I'm going to show you kind of how people have said these are quite similar. This is so cool. We were trying to fix my TV with like some magnetic stuff. So I've got this. I've also got this. So, okay, I'm going to stop for the clap. Sorry. So Ferrari's Felipe Massa actually used to be Ferrari driver. If you don't know who he is, he's actually been to Formula E, which is so exciting. I'm really, really excited for Formula E this year. I might do a couple of videos on that when I get a new channel, but for now, it's all going to be live stuff. I'm really sorry. I apologise. Okay, so Felipe Massa was winning the race when Smoldy, the team engineer at the time, the race engineer told Massa, Fernando is faster than you, and that is pretty much clear for move out the way. Fernando could win. Fernando is going to be faster than you. Move out the way, and Fernando ended up winning the race. So let me tell you what happened in 2018, and then I'm going to pretty much spell it out for you. What is similar? Germany 2018. Raikkonen was told by I was about to say Bono. It's not Bono. Bono, what a lad. Pete Bonington is a lead. Box, in, out. I need to talk about that. Okay, sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so I don't know the race engineer's name, but Raikkonen was told Sebastian could get faster, and is on a different strategy. This could ruin his tyres. To which Raikkonen was like, what are you talking about? What do you want me to do? I eventually kind of got the message and moved out the way for Sebastian. to be honest, I didn't mean it's much different because Sebastian did end up slamming it in the wall a little while later, and then it kicked his wheel. But we don't really know what could have happened if obviously he hadn't had crashed. And then we're going to talk about a very common incident, which I'm talking about team orders. Also 2018, which was literally the race before Japan. Hashtag time zones suck. I want my pie right now, I'm so hungry. We've got pie for dinner. Also, I kept my makeup on to film this video, so I was really sweaty now. I put on the lipstick. I do usually put on the lipstick before. Okay, what's the 2018? Valtteri qualified pole and was never okay, so Valtteri qualified pole, and it was just like a happy moment because Lewis kind of mucked up his thingy, and Valtteri has had a very, very trashy season. He's had like the worst luck since ever. And was never, and he came out to say was never told his team orders, and he literally was like, well, we'll have to talk about it, but I think I'm allowed to win this race. Okay, so this is what makes it more upsetting to me as like a viewer, as a spectator of the sport. Oh my god, my voice is breaking. Whew. It's okay, it's a mission about this. Okay, so Valtteri was like, hi, hey, yo, just coming. I'm joking. Valtteri was told, you need to let Lewis pass at 10:13. But Valtteri was like, sure, okay. And then a couple of laps later was like, are we going to am I going to take the position back? And then to which Pete Bonington, Banner, as everybody calls him, who's an absolute lad, was like, well, and he was like, no, we're keeping positions. And this is of course quite similar to Austria, which is I think quite ironic how we finished with this. Is Lewis offered to Lewis? So after this is, by the way, this is why Mercedes have not been given any time penalties or anything like any penalties, because it happened after the national anthem. The trophy given after was Lewis was like, Valtteri stand on the top podium, Valtteri can like have my podium, have this, hold it, this is yours, which I was like, yes, Lewis. Honestly, my opinion on Lewis has changed so much. So I really want to do a video on, so that's that side, and I want to kind of chat about what I want to continue to do from now. So I really want to do a Shane Dawson style-esque video where I kind of go into depth. So I kind of want to start off with like Formula 1 as a sport and kind of see like what is wrong with it and what could change. So I kind of want to delve deep into like, so definitely very different to Shane Dawson, because he kind of does on one person, and I definitely will go maybe like after this series into different people, maybe drivers that you want me to talk about. And I definitely want to do like a Shane-esque video in that sense of kind of delving into Formula 1, bits that are working, bits that are failing, and kind of puzzle it together to kind of show Formula 1 as a sport now. So I definitely want to do that. I also really want to do like a couple of like, and I definitely want to do a couple of like mental state videos about Formula 1 drivers, like what made the mental state of a Formula 1 driver be? Could it be like what could affect it? And kind of do like maybe like another show that's a good video. But obviously I'm doing conspiracy theories, so I don't want to be like, oh, you're literal shingles, you're literally like copying his videos for that, because I'm honestly not. I said I want to like a Shane Dawson-esque video of like looking into Formula 1 and seeing how like messed up it is, and kind of what sport can change or what doesn't need to change. and kind of look at like all the mistakes it's made, like maybe if certain drivers' deaths could have been stopped, or maybe different, like certain teams collapsing and certain drivers, like why did Nico and also I definitely want to video on, I would definitely do a series on why Nico Rosberg retired. So I might keep a lot of these ideas until I start a new channel, because I'm going to start a new channel that's going to be very different. It's going to still be including my makeup, obviously, but it's going to be a lot more like, I want to throw in like a few like creepy videos, because I've started watching like a couple of true crime YouTubers and I'm really enjoying that. So, but this is that video, and if you have any ideas what I actually should do with my like channel, because for now I'm probably gonna like start doing a bit of Halloween stuff and kind of blow off the Formula 1, but I kind of wanted to do this just because a lot of people have been asking for a number two, a part 2 to this, so I'm gonna go back to wrap up my spotty makeup and then go sit with my family and eat some pies, because we have pies and pie for dinner. I'm really happy to be eating these ones, but like with third time this week. Also, this but I'm still going to TV, so I'm gonna be watching Formula 1, The Apprentice in the morning before school. So I don't know. I'm gonna I'll pack my makeup maybe. Bye. I love you all, and I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, my aim with these videos is to kind of educate you on Formula 1 more, so that maybe you're interested the next time you see the race on, to, oh, I might sit down and watch 20 minutes of this, and to kind of look at more things that maybe aren't something that like 14-year-olds watch, because I don't know a lot of other people that watch this for their own accord. Like other people are like, oh, my dad watches this. I'm like, my dad watches this and I watch it also, and I just enjoy it. So thanks. I love you all, and I'll see you soon.